it's like a note to you. So you could be like, this is for the electric bill. This is, it's kind of like has anybody used or heard of Venmo before? You can pay your friends, right? And so a memo would be like you being like, this is for pizza, so that later you're not like, why did I give them $15? And then it says pizza, and you're like, oh, right, pizza, okay, or whatever. This number right here, this is your bank number. So like your specific bank has a number, whether you are like, I don't know, at Wells Fargo or a credit union or whatever bank you're at, they have a specific number, and the number on the bottom of your check is that. And this number is your account number. So this one's personal to you. And this is where your signature goes. Okay, so number 1 says we're writing check number 256. So I'm going to cross this out up here and write 256. That's something you would never need to change on a check yourself. That number would already be there, but for this purpose, since I had to like photocopy a whole bunch of them many times, we're just going to put it in that way. And this is apparently to Robert's Department Store. You don't have to write this in cursive, and you don't have to write this not in cursive, but it does have to be your own handwriting. It's for $38.75. Over here I'm going to write, and make sure you start all the way to the left, 38.75. That point is very important as well. And then over here, I'm going to start writing it in words. So I'm going to write 38. And this is important. For the 75, you never write and 75 cents. What you write is this. You write and 75 out of 100, like a fraction. Everybody writes cents that way. That's the way to do it. Otherwise, that way the bank knows that that's where you intended to have the fraction, or that's where you intended to have the cents. And then you draw a line after it like this. Anybody want to tell me why I put that line there? Yeah?
So people can add more on.
People can't add more onto it. Exactly right. Or like try to white out my cents thing and then try to add more in. That starts to get really noticeable. All right. This, you can make up joke memos for all of this assignment. I hope you do. What's a ridiculous thing that we could buy at Robert's Department Store for $38? A toilet. Okay, so let's buy a used toilet. Well, you can't buy a toilet for $38. I just bought a toilet. They're like $200 at the cheapest. And then over here, you're going to write your signature. This one should be in cursive. Yep, got to get used to writing your name in cursive. It's all right if it is a scribbly scroll, as long as you are always consistent about it. And if you are not always consistent about it, then you need to start practicing your own signature, because that's something you want to get good at and you want it to always be the same. All right, any questions on how to write a check? Everybody understands that the stuff here that we wrote, pay to the order of, the price or how much it costs, the memo, your name, and the check number. Besides that, everything else here is just notes, right? You don't have to write that every time? Mm-hmm. Yes?
Are we not writing the date?
Yeah, we should. And the date is, we don't have a date. Use today's date, it says. All right, so today's date is 3/8/22. You don't have to rewrite the words your name as your name every time, though. I'm not going to make you do that. All right, so that's all we're doing for this one. Now we're gonna flip to deposit slips. Yeah.
Scary.
All right, so deposit slip. Again, your name there'll either be a spot, like if you're filling this out at the bank and you're just getting a general one, it'll be a spot to put your name and your account number. Otherwise, if this is in the back of your checkbook, that's your account number already. And they have those saved. It'll have your name there already too. It's 3822. All right. We are going to do number 9 together. All right, now if you have cash, it'll go up in this spot up here. This column is for dollars, and this column is for cents. On this first problem, if you look at number 9, it says we've got a check for $145 and a check for $15.86. So we're not depositing any cash. And since we're not depositing any cash, I'm going to draw a line through both that says I'm not depositing any cash today. And then it says list checks singly. What does that mean?
You ready to check in?
Each one you're going to write. Also, do you see how it says use the other side for additional checks and enter the total here? So right here would be the total from the other side. This would normally be a two-sided piece of paper, and on the back side would be a spot for like 10 checks, like if you're depositing a whole bunch of things, especially like businesses would do that a lot. We're not going to have anything from the other side, so we're just going to mark that up there. All right. Now, normally you would write the check number here, but they don't have that on this one. So the first one is $145. So I'm going to write 145 and 0 cents. The next one is $15.86. And then we just add them together. So I've got 86 cents here and what, $160? And then right here, total items, you're going to write 2, because that says that we've got 2 checks. That's it. That's as hard as writing a deposit slip is. This one is not something you have to be so careful about. You know how the other one we're like putting lines everywhere to make sure nobody adds anything to it? Nobody would do this. Nobody would be like, I'm going to steal their deposit slips and put money into their account. Nope, nobody's going to steal your deposit slips and add money to your account. And if they do, then they are dumb or maybe they love you, okay? And either one's fine with me. If somebody wants to just